Misha.
Yeah, Marco.
Marco,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm
So I
fine.
keep calling you Michael, but I'm gonna start to call you Misha. I think it's more Germanized. No?
It is, yeah.
Michelle? Misha?
So,
Misha is a nickname.
people know me as Misha.
Misha
Yeah,
Niemas. Misha Niemas.
exactly.
There we go. Michael, first of all, thank you very much for being here. That's something that I was dreaming about to have you here at the store. I know how influential you are on the slot car world. Not even talking about your talent, which is, I'm a fan. I've been several times to your studio. And again, it's a dream to have you here in California. I hope one day you move here, become my neighbor, because I'm pretty sure that we can be friends forever, my friend. Your talent is something absurd. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm happy to offer via Electric Dreams your workshop, your masterclass, which was something that I did in Germany. And I think people who's going to do that with you next Monday, you enjoy forever, because that what you teach there, and you're super open about your techniques, what you teach there, even if you're not like a pro painter, or if you don't have the paint part of the hobby as your main part of the hobby, it's very important to learn. And then I learn a lot. I never thought I have talents to do anything with painting. My father used to do that part of the business of the team part. But yeah, it was incredible. And again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being such a good sport and come to race the nationals with us.
Yeah.
And I want to hear from you. What are you thinking about California? I know that your wife and daughter just left. You have like a little road trip now, and now you're dedicated to the nationals.
Yeah, so it's a big pleasure for me to be in here. So we already planned this last year, but it was not possible. And yeah, the California state is great. We had a little road trip, a few days through all the tourism points you have to do here. And now I'm very happy to do all of this racing again with the nationals around it, and yeah, let's see what it will be.
Did you see how excited people are today? Today is we can date that. Sorry, Carlos, but today is Wednesday. But you came here yesterday, and people are already hitting the track, right?
It was crazy. So I haven't seen something like that in Germany. That so many people were training on a Tuesday for a race.
Most of them are retired. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
So,
they don't have a job. So
we don't know. But yeah, you see definitely the motivation of the people, and that this is a really serious event where people practice a lot, prepared a lot, and that's great to see, because this format of having championships is very rare all over the world, and for sure you have people from all over the world at this event, so it makes it very special.
Yeah, we this year we're gonna have people from 10 different countries. Yeah, and I believe that 8 different states. So it's a lot of people from outside. We have our usual 30 to 40 locals, but the rest of it is just people coming from outside, which
is amazing. That gives race event such a spirit.
Yeah, and I think the class, the Group C from Slot.it that we're using, are the great cars for this event, because it's such long-running class. Mauricio has been doing this for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So there's so many different bodies and models, and they all the same inline, same motor pod.
Yeah.
And as you can see on the rows, we have spec tires, spec wheels, and the motor is from the same batch. They're numbered and sealed. So the cars are very close. So people are doing 6.4, 6.5s. Some extraordinary racers, they can do like 6.1s and 6.2.
Yeah.
But even though the difference is not much.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very close race. I think we're going to have 10 to 15 top drivers, maybe the 12 semifinalists. Those are the top drivers. And the rest, everybody's going to be within the 5-6 laps difference between 18th and 70 and 65 is going to be. Yeah. It's a very close race. It's an event that we're doing for the 3rd year now, and I'm glad that you're here. But it's going to be very crucial for us, because we're investing a lot of time.
Yeah.
Carlos and me, we're just sleeping 4 hours a night.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be cool, and I'm very happy that you're here, because you're gonna witness something very cool.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how people can live with the pressure if you have so many people from different states.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. The electric alley here on the side, I didn't show you yet, but we have tents outside so people can have space to pit. We just got 10 more tables and a bunch of more chairs. It's overwhelming. When you have your name, when they call your name, it's gonna be okay. Actually, can you give me one of those folders? So this is the level. I don't think I showed you that before, but this is the level of the race. When the racer comes here to start practicing, he gets one of these.
Yeah.
Which is a folder that you have here, all the schedule for the event, including your masterclass here.
Yeah.
And then when you open, you have all the names of all the racers, so you can see who you're racing with. And here are the windows of the tech inspection. So you know when you need to bring your car for tech inspection on Saturday. After this, we're going to go to qualifying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can I have a look?
Yeah, just a look.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
It's not yours now. Later on, we're going to get one.
What letters are my short letters?
You're probably one of the last ones. Because
oh, yeah, I see here. Yeah. It's okay, that's fine. It's
because it's in order of your registration.
Yeah.
So, as you know, we've been trying to bring you here since last year.
Yeah.
So you were one of the very first ones to register. So.
Yeah.
And this the artwork was done by Andreas Andreo, who is the designer for Hot Wheels. He came up with the poster. Yeah. He comes every year with a poster for us.
So this is also, really art. What you can put in a frame and
we sell the posters too. You can buy the posters, the full size poster.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So
I'm gonna give you one.
Every wife at home will be happy to have this in the living room.
The living room, yeah, sure. Talk about yours.
She loves it.
She does it all. Michael, tell me a little bit about your history. As far as I know, you came a long time from modeling scale cars, scale models. I want to hear everything about your careers from the beginning when you first started, when you have this first look at slot cars, until the end right now, the most recent story with Fola winning that the big reality show in Germany and getting a little room at the Modern Wonderland.
Yeah. So everything started when I was 6, 7 with plastic kits from Revell. So I built planes mainly, then ships, everything. But at any point, I stopped at cars, but display cars. So no moving models, just scale models to stand up, and I built them. And even at a very young age, I sell them.
You start to sell them. Okay,
yes,
wheeler dealer. Okay.
But I was a kid. Yeah.
So your mom was giving you those kits, or you're just looking and searching for those already?
Yeah, I got a start money and I bought a kit, built it.
As a toy?
No, as a display model.
No, I know, but they gave that to you as a toy. Like, okay, hey kid, just see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. And
so you're being exposed to the fumes of glue since the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I really that explains a lot.
Started to enjoy different glues with different intensities.
Okay.
And good. At the very beginning, I was also spraying in the room. So, at home, my mother was really getting angry on me very often because I was painting in the bath shower, in the house, and stuff. So, what you are doing? And then at the age of 13, 14, my, let's say, building completely stopped because I was spending all the time for doing sports. Okay. And when I was getting 18, 19, I was ready with school. I restarted and I found out that in a city not very far from me, there is a shop. It was HT Motor Racing in Darmstadt, who has more than 2,000 kits.
Okay.
But it was a slot car store. So my intention was to go there just for the kits, not for any slot car. So I came back home with one kit and one slot car.
Okay, good.
And the slot car was just for display. And now I make it.
What kind of slot car was it?
My first slot car was a Fly, Porsche 908, Österreich. So one of the first fly models that was coming out.
Do you remember which car was that? Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's
We
the
might have it here.
it's the Österreich 2 car. So the second car from Fly, I think. Yeah.
Okay, Rafael was gonna be happy to hear that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
honor of Fly. Yeah.
And then I got a car. Then I bought another one, the
Okay.
same type, also Porsche, the Jarama car.
Okay.
And then I went to the shop.
The Jarama was another Porsche.
Another Porsche with the yellow front.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have. I'm gonna search for that. Might bring it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm looking through my phone by the presentation.
So I decided, okay, I have to buy a Scalextric track. I bought this, and it was holiday, and every day I was playing for a few hours.
With the two Porsches from Fly.
Yes, until the tires were gone. So I had to go to the shop, buy new tires, and then the owner, Kurt Petri, was telling me, hey, there is a club. You can go to the club. And I, no, that's nothing for me. It's just fun. And
So you were around 18, 17?
I was 18 at this point, yeah. And then I decided, okay, let's go to the club. I saw the club and I said, it's easy. So they told me, here you can adjust the voltage, and the best for you would be something like 10 volts. 10 volts. I 24.
24 volts.
I had no idea.
Okay,
So
nobody
I put
was
my
watching.
car on the straight. I accelerated one time, and my first car was completely destroyed.
Was this Porsche here?
It was this Porsche, but
The
not that car.
Flunder. Okay.
Not that car, yeah. And so I was quite pissed, and it was the first time for me nearly stopping with slot racing. But then I thought, okay, I have another car, and now I hear what they are telling me. After 2 months, there was a race with 1 to 24 cars, everything open chassis, everything. So with a friend of mine, Stefan Schoch, we built a Plafet chassis, a Nissan R390, and our intention was to enter this race just to learn. But the preparation, everything was so much that we said, when we will get last, we stop with this hobby, because it was a hobby. We was getting second last. So
almost.
We were just looking back, because with the big cars, you have to give the others space to overtake.
Yeah.
And it was 12 hours of pure stress with these cars. Yeah, but then in the same year, after 6 months of doing this and getting more experience and testing and everything, and the great support from HT Racing, I won the national championship. I got a wild card for the world championship in 2000, the IMCA World Championship, where I also met the first time the big guys like Salvatore Noviello, the Belgians, the Bassas brothers, who were favorites for the event, and so on and so on. And
do you mean Bernard and Ivan could race that time?
They could race.
They could race.
They really
well,
could
what
race.
happened then? I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. They were also motivated.
Okay, maybe that's it.
They
That's
were
it.
extremely motivated.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Yeah, and
I can see it now, but okay.
Okay, that's sometimes kids make slower, so I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe the new generation is faster.
We have to ask them.
What happened?
But this was a wild card, and then it took me 5 years to qualify for my next world championship, to earn enough points to go there. But in between, I raced at German championships, European championships, and in 2003, so after 3 years, I won the first German championship with the big cars, the big event, the
124 Plafet,
the German Plafet championship, and also we won the European Plafet championship, which was for that time just amazing. And then everything was focused on the world championship, I could say. So I raced everything. So every weekend I was racing. And then in 2005, I made it to the first main final, was getting fifth at the World Championship.
Still racing 124 scale?
Yeah, I think.
But no legs and body, right?
No, with hard bodies.
With hard bodies.
Yeah, and then 2006 I was second. 2007 I was nowhere, wrong setup. So we know at a very strong field, when you don't have the correct setup, then that's it. You are nowhere. So it's not nowhere, but I even didn't make it to the semi-final.
Okay.
And in 2008, I won my first World Championship title with NSR.
There you go.
So I won the NSR World Championship. Very interesting because I was exactly in the same meter than another guy, but I was in front of him.
Okay. So finished a couple of inches.
Yeah. After
who was the second one?
It was Nicolas van Rossum.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 90 minutes of racing, it was just 5 centimeters, which made the difference. But from that point, something made click in my mind because I have a World Championship title, so that's all what I want.
Have a name. And so tell me more about this 2008 championship. Where was it held? Where was it?
It was held in Belgium, at Roeselare, at the...
What kind of track you have raced? The Nico track?
It was a very famous layout, especially in the States, but not a Blue King. I'm not aware of the name of the layout.
Okay.
But it was a big track. So with
wooden track, 8 lane.
Wooden track with bankings and everything.
And what kind of car you guys racing?
We raced Moslers.
Oh, the NSR Moslers. Okay.
The NSR Moslers, they were all prepared, boxed, and there was zero training with these. They were given by lottery, taken out. You had a free practice, directly to the race. And it was weird because they had sponge tires with the very strong motor and no added weights. So it was like a rocket. And the track had ultimately a lot of grip. So very difficult to drive. And the guys from the States were the absolute favorites. So
remember any names?
Yeah, Dan DeBella, Fred Hood,
from Pro Slot,
Paul Gavronsky.
Paul Gavronsky was here last week.
Yeah. Chris Radicic from New Zealand. Yeah. They were the guys who wanted to win this. And I think Chris was third and was not very happy about this. That the 1-24 scale guys grabbed the title. But this was the first. The next year I could repeat this with the 1-24 scale cars. It was also very close. I think the first 4 people were in a half of a lap.
You won again?
Yeah.
2008 and 9?
Yeah, and 2010 I won again sprint race with 1-24.
Where was the race in 2009?
It was in Brussels.
Okay.
And it was funny because one guy who made it to the main, it was Desmond Decker, a very fast guy. He kicked me out in the first stint, accidentally for sure. Yeah. And it took me more than 90 minutes to recover from this to the front. And I took the lead in the last minute. And the guy, Ralf Seif, I think maybe you know him. Ralf Seif, a German guy, one of the best drivers on this planet. He was leading the race for 95 minutes. And I overtook him in the last minute. And he was getting, at the end, fourth. Because he had the slowest lane at the end.
So he came from first to fourth in the last lane.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
In the last minute. And there, I remember there is a picture that the first 4 cars were within 6 meters. So this was racing to the max, to the limit. So I have it in mind as the ultimately battle, and everybody was pushing to the max. Everybody had a spotter telling times what's going
radio?
On. No, they were
standing
behind us. Yes. It was like on.
It's just like the Italian race that we did together.
It was like on a fish market. But you just need to have the loudest shouter. So mine was Mr. Gerlach, Thank you for this. So you were a big part of my championship. Yeah, and after this was, I would say, one of the greatest slot car races ever held in 1 to 24 scale.
Until now, oh well, I will do 1 to
in 1 to
24
24 scale. So
I'm
in 1
fine.
to 32, there's no question about it. That this is absolutely for now the
I
biggest
just
event
joke
in the
with you.
world.
Just joke.
Yeah, yeah. But that time I was racing with Nicolas von Rossum, and there were an entrance field of 140 drivers, splitted in classes. So there were a lot of GT2 classes,
Okay.
and all of the pros had to drive GT1 cars that time. So which was Corvette, Porsche, Maserati, MC12.
That's 124 scale hard body.
Yeah,
Okay.
GT.
So the body, who made the bodies? Is it like a Tamiya kit? No, somebody was doing the bodies, right?
Everything was made of glass fiber.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
artisanal almost.
Yeah, yeah. So the cars itself were, let's say, quite expensive. So
Yeah.
with chassis, body,
It's
everything.
beautiful. For 140 cars, custom-made cars.
Yeah, easily we can talk. The price of one car was that time 2,000 euro, which is
And you gathered 140 people to race that thing. Jesus.
everybody built his own. So that's the point. But at this time, we expected it was a 12-hour race, the World Championship team race, that the grip level will raise extremely during the race. And I would say the best teams in the world for 1 to 24 were entering, everybody. So it was qualifying, and we even didn't make it through the GT1 class. So we were so bad in qualifying that we end up in the
GT2.
second last heat, where were just amateurs, so GT2 drivers.
Yeah, GT2. And right in the mix between GT1 and
Yeah,
GT2.
and we were the only GT1. And
Oh, at least you won the race.
yeah, my teammate, yeah, it's like this. My teammate Nicolas, I said to him, and he was trusting me.
Is this Nicholas the same one that is helping you with the studio today?
No.
There's also Nicholas there.
He's
right?
the son of Jean-Pierre van Rossum, and he was driving the Onyx Formula One team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was trusting me. I said to him, wait in the race, we will come.
Do you still have contact with Nicholas?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So best
Because
regards to Nicolas.
we went to do the Onyx car.
Huh?
We went to do the Onyx car.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be great. Yeah, and and that
Moneytron.
Moneytron, the Moneytron car. Yeah. So his father was the guy investing
I know.
Moneytron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end, we fought back. So after half of the race, we were already on second place, 4 laps behind the leader, 6 hours to go. And because we were much more faster, also at the pit stops, we grabbed lead in the last 3 minutes from the team of Ortmann, Seif,
Michael.
De Wachter, and same story, same event. In the last 3 minutes,
We overtook
Ralf lost his World Championship title.
it. Make him lose.
Yeah,
Made him
and
lose.
he's a very good friend of mine, even if I stole him 2 times the World Championship title.
Jeez.
Very close.
Yeah, of course, very good friend.
Yeah,
It
but
has a poster with your target. You're facing a target full of bullet holes.
yeah, sure. I think it's in front of his bed. You know, that when he wakes up.
No, on the
zack.
ceiling.
But
Every time
but-
he looks at your face.
I can tell you, when he will be sitting here, he will tell you another story. We were at the European Championship in 2004 at Le Mans. And we were fighting the lead. We didn't make it because at the end we were disqualified. But that's another story.
Okay.
Like the Russell effect. And there was a trophy that was 1.5 meter high. So this is how much? 50 feet?
1 meter. How much?
1.5 meters.
It's not 1.5 meters.
it's-
Probably got 4
it's-
feet. 4
it's-
feet. Yeah.
It's like this.
4 feet.
So, and there was
5 feet. 5 feet.
5 feet. There was a man of speed over the whole event, and it was very simple. There were people staying there, and if you wanted to enter to get this trophy, you have to pay €1 for 1 minute trying. So I spent a lot of money.
It's still there.
Ralf spent a lot of money. We reinvested this trophy a few times with all of the money. And after this event, 3 days, there was one moment where the sun was coming out. It was a very cloudy weekend, which was going through a window to the track, and Ralf was 1/1000th of a second faster than me.
Just because the sun was aligned to the eyes of the driver.
We were so at the limit.
I'm happy the way that you find excuses, Michael.
It's not an excuse. It was so at the limit. And he won this trophy. And I think this is worth much more for him than the World Championship titles.
I noticed that you're very competitive. Very, very competitive. We raced together at a 24-hour race, and we can talk about that. We didn't get into talk about modeling yet, but I remember last year when I was visiting you and we went to Dieter Jen's track to try the prototype of your new Formula 1 car.
Yeah.
You got pissed with me when I did a faster lap than you. they're right back home. You kind of, right.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't pissed. Right. But you are very fast.
Over there, yes. On the day after that, I told Carlos on the day, so I think Mike was pissed with me. I don't know what happened. Remember that? And then the day after, I went to another club, which I can't remember the name, with the guys from Gecko, the guy who makes the chassis to put Carrera bodies on it. And I was there driving, and it's a very cool track. It's like a small club, and they were having the race over there. We couldn't stay for the race, but he gave me a loaner to try the car, and everybody was doing this, right? So I think the time was like 5:1 or something. It was a very good time. So I was doing 5.2s, and I see other people doing 5.1s. And I say, what's the track record? I say, there's no official track record, but there's only 2 people who did below 4.9.
Yeah.
And 4.9 low, 4.9 close. No, 4.9 very high, 4.99 something. And I tried for like 20 laps, and I did a 4.9 low.
Yeah.
And people were just, what the hell is going on here? At some point, they stopped practicing. That was like 20 minutes to the race, and they started to marshal for me, like rooting for me to go. Yeah. And I have a picture doing this. So I wasn't a good week.
But I can remember at the track from Dieter Jens, he was saying, the track record is 4.9 something.
Yeah.
And then he was giving us power, and after a few minutes, you were just dancing because you took the new track record.
Well, look at me. That's why I was insisting with you guys to do the qualifying on the NSR event. Yeah. Because I know I can take it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the NSR event. We were in Italy, in Naples last year.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. For first time trying, right? Ninko track. Nobody was here. The team was you, me, Eddie Shore, Rick Jokan, Elliot Hernandez.
Yeah. And
we forget about somebody? No, right?
No, that was it.
That was it? 5 people only?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm not forgetting nobody? It's going to be a crime if
somebody couldn't make it. I'm not sure.
Dennis Sanson. Dennis Sanson got COVID one week before.
Yeah.
And then we're there. And the field was very aggressive because those people, they're used to race those long races on Ninko track with 1/32 scale cars.
Yeah.
And for me, Eddie, and for you, and only Elliot had some experience on that. So I remember that each one of us brought one car, and that was a completely mistake because we couldn't figure out which car to go.
Yeah.
And then the guys from Slot.it, the Spanish guys who are in partnership with us this year, they gave us like a chassis. I tried this one, and the car was much faster, and we decided to go with that. And at some point on that race, out of 36 teams, we were 5th or 4th or something like that.
Yes.
We were very up there. And I was like, okay, that's happening.
We won at night, every turn.
Yeah, I raced most of the night, and I raced faster at night than at the day.
Yeah, I know.
I messed the day. I was bad at the day. I was not in a good day, but at night I could come back. And then I remember that I gave the car to you and said, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then it was at the track, we made a mistake to have only you and Elliot was marshalling. And something happened. The guys forgot to change the sticker for us.
Not once. A few times.
So the guy, let me recap this because it was not clear for me. So we were at, let's say, at the lane 31, and you cannot touch your car. The marshal needs to move the lane, right? So they put us on 32nd, which was the next one because it's in order, and they forgot to take the sticker. So the sticker still says 31. So for the first time when you crash it, the marshal pick up the car, look at the number, and put you on the wrong lane.
Yeah.
And then you have no control on the car, and you crashed again. And then the next marshal picks up the car, see the third one. So you keep crashing for 5 laps. And what happened? Tell me what happened there, because I know that you got very upset. I heard things about you throwing a chair on the ground.
Yes, I did. I was upset because I checked if the number was correct on the car. And it was correct on the car. And always the same guys put us on the wrong lane.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the marshal in the interval, he did his job.
Yeah. They put us on the wrong lane, but we had the correct sticker. And the funny thing is, there was even no dislotting. So sometimes they just grabbed the car in the dark. Then I shouted to the...
Who was that, Michael?
I don't know what was... when I see them, I can tell you, but I don't know which guys this were. Then I was shouting to the... Who was the big guy?
Paco.
Paco. And he was saying the race will be never stopped. So I go down, put a chair, and smashed it into a corner of the hall. And then he stopped the race.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was hard to communicate because he doesn't speak any English.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't speak
that was
Italian.
My way of communication. So
okay. I'm glad that you didn't throw the chair at him, but yeah.
Yeah, so and then we know the car was broken.
Yeah, and then you have to pick up and fix the car.
Yes, and we lost a lot of laps.
Yeah,
and
probably over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we came down to 12th, and then we did a comeback. We finished finish. No, we came down to 18th, and we finished like 11th or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Which was, I think, realistic would have been 5th, 6th, something like this.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Even NSR was not official, so we would jump one.
Yeah,
one
we
to the
probably
front.
will finish in 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So after that, he stopped the race.
Yeah.
And what happened then?
Big discussions.
Okay.
In Italian
and
language.
The whole race stopped.
The whole race stopped. Yeah, big discussions.
And Paco understood that those guys were doing this?
I don't know. So Elliot was communicating a lot because his way was much more better. And for me, the intention was just, why is this happening? Because it was not a fault to do this. And then crashing, all the time just crashing. And
because every time that you crash, they put it in the wrong lane and keep crashing.
Yeah, but we had the correct sticker on it. And
I thought we had the wrong sticker on it.
We didn't have the wrong sticker on it.
So there was some bad faith going on.
Yeah. So I keep it in that the whole event is really great. But maybe some teams were fighting with, bad methods. Let's say it like this.
I didn't know that. I thought the guy made a mistake putting the wrong sticker on it.
No.
So when we moved to the next heat, the sticker was correct again.
Yeah, but
and they keep putting us on the wrong lane.
In the next heat, no, this was not anymore. Yeah, but we anyhow checked always if the lane sticker is the correct one. So,
well, we're gonna get more prepared for the next one. I will bring my gun to start. I don't have one, but I will buy one.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know that. I thought it was a mistake from the marshal.
No, that was the reason why I was getting so pissed at that point.
Shoot, man.
Yeah.
That kind of hurts us a lot because we were super fast at night.
Yeah.
We won every single race beside that one. I remember passing everybody. Just like I don't know what's going on.
It was getting dark and everybody was getting slower and we just getting faster. Maybe we didn't saw the car moving that.
Rick Chocam did a great driving at night too.
Yeah.
He was winning all the races. Yeah, we're gonna get more organized. You know, there's a huge partnership that I cannot announce right now that you know about it.
Yeah.
That's gonna make a huge difference for us. We're gonna have 2 teams on the Italian race.
Yeah.
And 2 teams on the Spanish race with the Scale Auto and NSR. Yeah. So we're gonna get the month of May is gonna be busy for us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come, like we're gonna use that last year's experience as the very first experience, and there's a lot of stuff that we need to adjust, like hotel rooms. We might have a motorhome in front so we can rest.
Yeah.
This little kind of stuff, like figure out the cars before we go. I'm gonna set up a track similar to the track that we're gonna be racing there, with the same sort of a track. Like I'm gonna have a scale auto track here for us. I'm trying to work with Andrea and Mauricio to replace the Ninko track that is too bumpy and you cannot be replaced for Polycar.
Yeah.
And Polycar, we have one here, so we can set up well the car. So we're gonna get more prepared. We're gonna go there as a professionals, and we have this good partnership with Slot.it Race. They're gonna provide some drivers, and those guys are very used to race those circumstances. We're gonna get there. We're gonna find the correct controller.
Yeah. It was great to see that the team has worked very well.
Yeah.
So it was a completely mixed team.
But at the same time, it was a completely mixed team. But and you designed the car. The car is beautiful. It's still for sale, by the way, if you want to buy one. Not you, but you. We lack of structure.
Yeah.
I remember that the hotel was not that close. It was not in a walking distance. But I was the only one with a car, so I have to drive everybody all the time. Rick Chokan stayed in a hotel that was further away, and it was a pain in the ass to pick him up, and he needs to rest, so I need to do so I was doing the driving. I was trying to doing the argument, because I remember on the scrutineering where I have to argue with basically all the teams.
Yeah.
Because there was a rule that was not very well translated to English, and some teams used the English version, and
it was.
And the night before was this big argument, and I kind of lead that, and it's hard for me too. My Italian is not that good, so 50% of the field doesn't understand what I'm saying. So, but I think it was a very good first experience. I was surprised that we were doing so well. But we're gonna come with more structure, and then we're gonna try to podium this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the name that we're going to be representing too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's kind of cool, right? Like when I'm looking forward to this announcement.
Yeah.
Every time that the man calls me, Carlos freaks out. What? Yeah. So there's big news coming.
It will be very interesting.
Big news
to hear about that. Yeah.
Let's come back to your story. So before you go to all the World Championships 2008, 2010, I want to talk about your teenage years, because I heard that you had some real racing experience. You raced against Sebastian Vettel in the same class as Sebastian Vettel.
What? I did. Very funny for me. So, first of all, when I became 13, I became a bicycle rider.
Okay.
And also raced for the national team.
Really?
So I was a sprinter.
Okay.
So you see, I'm not the type of mountain driver.
Yeah.
And I quit with bicycle racing when I left the internat. I was at a sports school, because my heart was already ticking for motorsports. And without any experience or something like that, I decided to make a racing license and do touring car races. Yeah.
Who was paying for that, Michael?
I was paying with the money that I earned with bicycle racing.
Okay, so you earned money with bicycle racing.
Yes.
What kind of bicycle races? Like mountain biking? No,
a road bike. Road bike, yeah. So, yeah. And
must be a good business, because to fund a motor racing campaign, what kind of money are you talking about?
It's very easy in Germany. So we have a lot of races at the Nürburgring, Nordschleife, and you can rent your seat for a race.
Okay.
And back this time, it was payable. Today it's crazy, but that time, without insurance, you could get a seat. Yeah. So
you must know Sabine Schmidt and all those people who raced there, right?
I don't know her personally, but met her.
She was around.
Yeah. So this was in 2003. So I made my license in 2003 at the beginning. Then I had my first practice at the Nürburgring Nordschleife without having one lap on this track. They put me in a race car and said...
That's the long one, not the short version.
The long one.
Okay.
It was raining, and they said, here's the track.
I hope to see you in 10 minutes.
10 minutes would be good.
10 minutes is good. It's a good time.
So there was no simulator at that time. It was the very early stage, just Gran Turismo. But this comes later.
Gran Turismo.
This comes a little bit later. And so I did my first 2 laps. I was coming in. I jumped out of the car and I said, no, this is nothing for me. I was really afraid because if you have never,
What kind of car are you driving?
it was a Renault Clio Sport.
Oh, but maybe that's the reason.
It's this car.
Piece of shit.
To be
I
honest,
lost one in a flood in Brazil.
yeah.
Piece of shit car.
As long as it's not an Opel Corsa, it's fine.
Yeah. Carlos, I need to tell you the story of the Opel Corsa. So right in front of his house, there's a green Opel Corsa, as we know as a Chevy Corsa in Brazil, which is a very small hatchback in green color. 1996, we call it in Brazil Corsa Wind. As soon as it's that, I was, you see that car, Michael? The exactly car? I lost my virginity in one of those. The problem is, which is fine. The problem is, every day now he sees the Corsa and remembers me. It's like, oh fuck, just get out. It's right in front of his gate, so he can recall me every day.
Okay, but I have also to say that I got so much Shakira spam.
Oh yeah. He hates Shakira, and he gets so many Shakira links out of nowhere.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, this car was.
Oh, by the way, Shakira is coming here to sing the anthem.
That's wonderful.
At the same time that I was at UCLA, she was my colleague.
Yeah,
I swear to you, she was studying at UCLA.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, I'm gonna call her.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but this car was. It was not the car. It was too much. If you don't, I didn't do go-kart racing or something like that. And then I go to the track, but then I decided, okay, I have paid for. So let's do it.
So let's do it the shitty Clio. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was the Cup Clio, and this car is extremely nervous, and it's a pure race car, very light.
It's a 2.0 liter.
2.0 liter,
1.6. Now 1.6.
No, 2.0 liter, 190 horsepower, differential, just 700 kilos or something like this. Really cool. And then I said, what the hell? Let's race. And in the first race, I fall out with any technical issue of the car, which was not that bad because then I knew I survived my first weekend. But the second weekend on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the endurance championship, the fun began because I was getting warm with the car. I was also with my personal car on the track to train. And I was becoming then in the next race 9th, 8th, 4th, then had a technical issue. And then before the 24-hour race, we finished third.
What? You raced a 24-hour Nürburgring?
Yeah. I was getting third.
With the Clio? With the Cup Clio car?
With the Cup Clio car, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting third, which was really cool.
On your class?
On your class, for sure, on the class. So they were a Cup class. And I would say I just couldn't make it faster because I had no insurance of the car and no money back up. And the two guys in front, the two guys in front of me, this cup racing is really hard, touchy. Okay. And I didn't want to scratch the car with anything.
Okay.
Yeah. But then was the 24-hour race, and at that point I was very comfortable with the car.
Yeah, after 24-hour driving.
Yeah, but also in the race. So we made it up, I think, to position 30.
How many people on your team? 3?
3, yeah.
And
we made it
so
up.
you race all this 6 hours or so?
Yes.
No more than 8 hours.
Yeah. So we made it up to position 30 in the race.
So that's why you had a Clio in your house one of these days. You had this 110 Clio that you're doing. Remember that?
No, this was a Renault 5.
Oh, okay.
This was the rally car.
Nothing
to do with this. But then in the race, we had an injection problem, lost 1 hour in the pits, and end up on position 100, which was quite cool. But
100th. How many cars on the grid?
249.
Come on, there's 200 cars at the same time on the track?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
there's more traffic than the 405.
It is, but it's a big track. So
yeah, but remember the traffic when you came here? It's more than that.
Yeah, but it was fine. But then at the next race at practice, I set the fastest lap that time for 2-liter cars on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And in qualifying, a tire burst, and it completely ruined the car. The car was ready to put it to the trash, really. So,
But that time you have insurance.
no.
Oh,
No, but I had a sponsor that see a potential
okay.
and said, okay, I take
What's
the
the
cost.
sponsor? Who's the sponsor? Tell the name now.
It was from the Fraunhofer Institute.
Okay.
You know this? It's
No.
a kind of
I
science.
don't even know what you say right now. It's just pure German. How can
It's a very German thing. It's a scientific university.
And how did you
kind.
get along with this sponsor? How
I gave them a phone call.
out of nowhere? Look, I'm the racer. I need
Yes,
some money.
exactly. Yeah. And so they said, okay, but we can only support you in Formula cars. But I'm very big, and I was a little bit afraid after the first announcement that I will test for BMW, a Formula car. So I was invited for an official BMW test.
And those are the pictures that we can find online where we have Sebastian Buemi,
Yes,
Sebastian
yeah,
Vettel.
and there was also testing with me was Kovalainen, who
Okay.
later drove for McLaren, and he was kart European champion something. And again, on this point, I never raced a kart, so a go-kart. And at the end of the day, he was 2:10 faster than me
Okay.
in a Formula car, but in the rain, my performance was extremely good with that car. Even if I thought this is the last time that I test this because I'm so slow. So my feeling was,
And what age are you? Like 20 something? 21, 22?
yeah, much too old.
And weren't you too big for the Formula cars?
I was too big.
Oh yeah.
I
You're
was.
6'1", 6'2", right?
Yeah, I was too big, especially for this Formula BMW. So I had problems that my knees where is the steering wheel, but it worked out. So then the next test was also good, and I got a cockpit for the next year, but the budget was very limited. So there was this guys racing today in Formula One, Rosberg, Vettel, all these guys. And I had this a few year old car from the team. And it was a little bit disappointing because I had one test with an official car. The second test I had in Hockenheim, for example. And I did a lap. I remember today, I think it was 147 high, something like this. And I never ever did that time with the team car. So it was just not performant like that. And for sure, I also had a lack of training. So when the first race started, I had a few 100 kilometers. Guys like Sebastian or Buemi, others, they came, they had to offer how many kilometers they tested. They had 40,000 kilometers of testing. So a different story. And after half of the season, and I think 6 technical failures, I decided to stop because it was the completely depressed number. I never saw finish. The car was slow. I struggled a lot with setup, and I said, okay, now I concentrate on something real. So I decided to become a model builder, a professional.
Okay. So based on the frustration as a race driver, you became a modeler.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to say something about the Clio, that you're afraid to crash, and then you crash, and then you have to learn how to paint to fix the Clio.
Yeah.
No? Could be a good idea.
Yeah, but
Could be a good story to start modeling.
it could be a story, yeah. But to buy a real Clio would cost less than the model car. So
That's true.
yeah. So at the end, I started in 2005 at the company.
But how do you start a company doing this? Like how do you start a modeling company? Like how do you know there's going to be people interested in what you're doing?
Yeah, because I was all the time doing slot racing,
Okay.
knowing about the scene and the models. And at the beginning, it was just about
So
slot.
you're already doing your cars, and your cars
Yeah,
are
yeah.
already like
Yes.
prestigious and everything else.
And normally it was like this. I built a car, I race it, and after the race, I sell it directly to have money for the next car. And
Here you have a saying like build on Friday, race on Sunday, sell on Monday, something like that.
Yeah, it is like this.
Right,
You can really say, yeah. And then in 2005, I started at a company which was great, was doing wind tunnel parts for Sauber, Formula One. There because I had to wait 1 year to start my studying at Opel for model builder design. And then I made my studying at Opel, finished extremely good. So one of the best ever finished this. And got
So Opel offers a program to train for modeling.
Yeah, they at that time they offers to study this directly at Opel. And after studying, I was coming directly to GM Europe Design. Worked there from 2008 to 2012. And then I left them. Because I felt from a modeler aspect, it was getting boring, I would say. If you're always at one company, at one point, it's always the same design, the same stuff.
But you're doing the whole cars or doing parts specifically?
Whole cars.
Is there any car that you helped to model that became reality?
Yeah, the Opel Astra GTC, then the GTE concept was great. We did the Ampera.
Don't know what it is. Well,
Here it's the Chevy Volt.
Oh God, that thing.
Yeah, and the base was a Golf car. Yeah,
Horrible.
we did that time. Yeah.
Anyway.
Many models that were put into trash, so
Yeah.
they were even not shown to the public.
Mm.
And then I decided to. But before we left Opel, at Opel it was getting very interesting because Opel had an own race team.
Okay.
And when I started my studying, I had to, my master, professor, let's say, said, okay, I teach you, but you are not allowed to race anymore. Because he didn't wanted it, because he knew about my racing background, which was just before I started my work there. And I said, okay, I will not race, but Opel had a racing team there. So I just waited until my studying was ready, and then pop, I jumped into the racing team from Opel in 2008 and started with go-karting with Volker Stritzek. Maybe you know him. He was the guy who was driving the DTM program for Opel. And he also was a good racer in Germany. And we won 24-hour races. We won everything.
With the Caliber? No, the Caliber is 90 something. What kind of car are they racing at that point with Opel?
At
the Astra.
that point, the Astra.
The GTC Astra.
Yeah.
And Scalextrics made some.
Yeah, they made some here.
You might have one.
Yeah. And in 2010, I decided with two other guys from the Opel design, we make our own team. So Niemas Racecars kart. And we entered the International German Championship. So it was European-wide open and endurance championship with the possibility for the winner to go to the World Championship in Paris. And in our first professional season, we made it to the Worlds. So we won the championship and made it to the Worlds, which was crazy, really crazy. I didn't went to the Worlds because I was organizing a slot car race at Hockenheim, which was outstanding because it was on the roof of the pits.
Okay, Hockenheim is the closest circuit to you, right?
Yes, yeah. And after this, we decided not to go ahead with this go-karting because it was extremely expensive, really. So if somebody watching this not knowing the numbers in motorsports, the money is just burning if you do this. And you have really to put everything in. And yeah, after this, more or less, I raced a few kart races.
And always giving time to your modeling company.
Yes.
Just make sure that modeling is like scale models, not modeling like women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I model.
Don't get me wrong, you're good looking, but not.
I
you don't have a modeling career, Michael.
I just model. Model
Hand
skate
model,
cars.
maybe hand model with the
I
cars.
don't think so.
With the
this
cars.
with this plumpy hands. So on Instagram you can also find me under the hashtag model.
Sure. Yeah, right. I hope not, because if I search for hashtag model, I hope not to see your face there.
Yeah. But this was the racing against these guys, and So.
And when the Niemas race cars, like the proper slot cars that you did, became like a proper business, just selling stuff. I know that you told me that you're selling cars, selling your models at 7 years old.
Yeah.
But when did you sell the very well? And I understand that you're racing and selling, but when you dedicate yourself to take orders and make like proper cars, because I know that I can't tell numbers, but I don't want to, but I know that some of your cars, they go for well over 2,000 euros.
Yeah.
And
so I started in 2009 to make a business, because it was not possible to run it anymore, not professional. And also racers from all over the world wanted cars for world championships, European championships. And for example, Paul Gawronski is one of my most famous, let's say, friends, customers, because he was getting world champion with one of my cars.
I did not have a relation like that.
Which made me really happy, also to see other people having success with this. And so I started in 2009, but it was always a side business, I would say, because in 2014 I decided to work for Amalgam Collection in Bristol, UK-based factory for artisan model cars, highly end, manufactured by hand. And I was
sometimes it's more expensive than the real car.
No, because the real cars
but
starts with 6 numbers normally.
Yeah, but today to get like let's say it's a 110 scale, right?
1:8 scale.
1:8 scale.
Yeah.
I remember went to the Ferrari museum, and over there is this big FXX amalgam car, and it was like, I believe, like $20,000 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think it starts up from 18, something like this. Yeah.
So you can buy a model Ferrari for the price of a Civic.
Yeah. But if you resell the model, you get the price of it back even more.
Oh, really?
For the Civic, I'm not sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How long is the wait for our amalgam model today?
I think something between 6 months and 1 year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How many they produce a year? When we were there?
Around 1,000. So 400 model makers were doing the models.
400 model makers.
Yeah.
And you helped to establish one of the factories, right?
Yeah. So I was coming there as a consultant in 2014, and ended up as the president Europe, and have built up a manufactory in Hungary, where I was close to 2 years every week to build it up, with close to 100 workers, and we teach them everything was settled up there.
I know, even the lights, you have to figure out the correct lights and
everything, really everything. So to create models or whatever it is on a very high level, you have to find the perfect surrounding, and everything need to be good, as you said, with the team, the team, the structure, everything need to work, that you have this product as it is. And this was a big goal to do it. It was very competitive and long days, not so much sleep, and many visions. They had to come from paper to reality. And at the end, it was very good. It was fine. And when the manufactory was settled up in Hungary, I decided to come back, let's say, to Germany, and to fully focus on slot cars and model cars made in my workshop downstairs. And so we got a house, I built up the workshop, everything was growing, and that's what I'm doing until now.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Yeah, it's a good summary of your work. So at the Amalgam collection, when you left, the factory was established, right? So it was easy to find a replacement for you, or did they throw a chair on you on that? That's where you learned. That's where you learned the chair move.
No. I'm not sure how. So the thing is, all of the people who were getting there for work, even the manager, the factory manager, and everybody was picked up by me. So it was quite a good feeling to handle everything over to them. And so it was going well at that point. Yeah.
And right now, is the factory still open, still functioning?
Yeah, it's still working, still function. It's still.
And they do everything in Hungary, or they still have a factory in China?
They have both. Plus, they have the UK,
which is
where all of the custom-made stuff is made.
Who's the owner of Amalgam?
It's Sandy Copeman. So he founded this company in the 80s, and they started with architecture models, mainly architecture models, really high-end, high class for Norman Fosters. They did the Hong Kong airport, stuff like that.
And you do some stuff like that too, right? Because I saw in your studio, saw some planes and different stuff, different scales.
Yeah, sometimes if there is anything special, it comes to my studio to help out, to modify it, to work on it. Or maybe some of you guys saw the Instagram car, the Mercedes 300 SL, which was completely damaged because it was fall down. So I dismounted it, repair it, build it up anew. Yeah.
That's another thing that I found interesting, because the type of slot car race you guys have, there's some rules that are way different than what we have here. The cars are so precious that if you just slot it one time, you stop the track, right?
Yes.
So nobody crashes into you. And if you just slot the second time, you're out of the race. You're too lousy to be racing with us.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember you telling me that after a big race, you bring some cars back home so you can repair the bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So you're a body shop too.
Yeah, so I have a few customers who give the cars with me for inspection, preparation for the race and stuff like this. So they just come to the race, and then I took it back. Yeah.
And the guys who race there know by the car that they race. So this is a very different culture, because you're paying for quality, not quantity. Here in America, what I feel is that people want to collect and want to have as much as they can. They want to accumulate. In Spain, the same thing. In Spain, when I see the new fly car, they're almost sold out. They cannot produce enough because people buy.
Yeah.
But in Germany, it's fun because you have a box and you have 2 cars, max 3. You know by the car that you race. Oh, that's the guy who raced the Ferrari 250 at the WB. Yeah. And then you cherish that thing, and you know about that thing, and then you send it back for body and for polishing and for other. Yeah. It's a completely different culture, and it's very fun. When I noticed that what was happening, I was very fond of saying, okay, maybe we should have this. Maybe we should just do one model instead of have 20 cars on my box and don't care about it.
Yeah, especially for the 1/24 scale cars.
Yeah.
You always have a piece of art, I would say, no matter who's building this model up. And you, as you said, you know, this guy has these 3 cars he's racing, and that are his cars, and maybe next year comes a new one. And very often it's that you race a car and then people ask, can I buy this car? And then you say, I can sold it to you, but then I have no car. So
yeah, that's it.
It's a lot of time to build them up. And
how long does it take for you to build a model today? Based on the fact that you already have a chassis and all the mechanics are ready.
For a historic,
just the body, right?
For a historic car like the Historic Challenge or Fine Design, it's 80 to 100 hours.
That gives you 3 months of work, more 6 months.
No.
If I order one now, what happens? When am I gonna have it? 2026? Don't tell me that.
So if you would order a car now, then I would say it will be made in the beginning of 2026. Yeah.
God, what are you doing here? You have so much work to do at home.
What I'm doing?
Yeah, what kind of vacations that?
Yeah, so here
It's a bad investment for you.
I'm here for the Nationals.
Okay. Oh, I know that.
And let's see what will be possible. Yeah.
So if I want to order a car from you, what am I supposed to do? Go to your website, send an email to you, and say, "Look,
send an email to me." Yeah. That's
it needs to be based in a fan design model, or we can explore other kits.
It can be whatever it should be.
Okay.
But generally, I will tell you, contact me again in 1 year. So I will put you on the list, and then we can talk about it. Because as you know, I also do the 1:8 scale models, and they are so complex that you can easily spend 3 months on one model. And if there are orders for 2 or 3, 1 year is easily blocked, or more than 1 year. And because this is also very important for my business, I have these models, and they took a lot of time. Yeah.
Very, very nice, Michael. I want to shoot 2 more videos with you while we're here. I have a car that you gave to me, which is a part of our race winning series.
Yeah.
The car that you won, the 2023.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was the Magnet Mania in 1:32 scale.
Come to Misha.
It was the Magnet Mania in 1:32 scale.
With magnets, right?
With magnets. Okay. Everything open. Motor open, magnets open. Just everything open. And it was on the wooden track of HT Motor Racing, the old track where the German championships were held up. And here we talk about lap times. The track was close to 40 meters and track times under 3 seconds.
Jesus Christ, that's fast. I saw you sent me the car. I saw this. Oh my God, what is this? It's the first time that I pick up a 1/32 scale car that I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. I was holding to do that. I asked you for a lot of information, but it's still very complicated to me. So when you have some time this week, we're gonna sit down here. We're gonna do a breakdown of the car, and you tell me everything what's going on there.
Let us talk about it. Just click.
Just click. No, we don't have that. We don't have the technology. We don't have the time. We don't have the time or the brain strength to do that. So don't click anywhere. Okay. The video is going to be
here.
So
just check out the videos, and we will explain this car to you.
And another video that I want to make is the new release that we're going to have on the 4th, because last month you have a new product, the Formula 1 cars, the Formula 1 series that you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about this? Because we're going to make a special video about the new car.
Yeah, I can make it very short. So with a very good friend of mine, Philippe Destré from Belgium.
I'm going to ask Carlos to put some pictures to cover what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We already talked many years ago to have a great ready-to-race Formula race car. And it comes closer and closer. And so we launched last month the Jordan 191, the Schumacher car, in 1:24 scale, very high engineered with new technologies used for slot cars. So it's a little bit step up from what we know in 1:24 racing up from now. And now very soon the second car will be launched.
Yeah, just after the Nationals we have the new car. We can, if someone watch it till here, you can tell what car is it, because we already have here on display. So which car was that? The next one.
Okay, so the next one will be the Williams FW14.
Nigel Mansell car, the big 5 red.
Yeah, he was cool. My hero.
He was your hero?
Yeah.
Okay. You had Senna at the same time and you choose Mansell. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Senna is also cool, but
so you think
also cool.
Also cool. Yeah, sure. I'm starting to get offended. So if you have to choose, if you were a team owner in the 90s, you have to choose between Mansell and Senna. Who are you gonna choose?
Who?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question.
Not supposed to be, but yeah.
The question is if I would have success or fun. So
I couldn't. No, one choose. You have to choose one. You have budget just for one. Who are you gonna choose?
That's a hard question.
It's not a hard question, Michael. Misha, come on, Misha.
Okay. So then you have to go with Senna.
Oh, good. I was about to leave.
Yeah.
I was about to leave this place.
Okay.
Michael, you're always a pleasure to be around with. You're a great teammate. You're a great business partner. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
I hope people watch this to know a little bit more about you. I know that we didn't cover not even 2% of the stories that you have to do. By the way, before we go, yesterday when we were leaving the strip club, you told me a story about you drifting.
My drifting.
Yeah, so he didn't question the strip club. Sabrina, it's a joke, Sabrina. It's a joke. He almost got, he kind of got into, but we didn't go to any strip club. Sorry.
Hier siehst du den Brasilianer durchkommen.
I don't know what the fuck you say. Michael, thank you again, right? We're looking forward for a great weekend of racing, fun. It's going to be cool. Me and Carlos will destroy it. It didn't even start it, but we're going to be here. Our souls are going to be here.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, during the brief, after when you have all the 75 racers, I'm going to play a joke. I'm going to give the brief. I'm going to say, guys, I wish you good luck. I need to go. And I'm just going to walk out. Let's see what I'm going to say. Michael, thank you again, right?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
So, bye.